What up, Tumblr? I'm really upset right now because I'm out of tobacco. Not conducive to when I want to read by the fire and smoke my pipe. But that's alright. I'm gonna move on. Also, my video's in black and white. Just realized this. And I'm not gonna restart it, so you're gonna get a video in black and white. The reason I'm making this video is because someone asked me about my creative process and about art in general, how I feel about art, which was like a really broad question, but it's cool. It's like really close to me. So what I did want to say it's a broad question and I don't know what kind of answer you're looking for, Anon, but I do want to say something about art. There are no rules. I hate... Sorry, I just realized that. Oh shit, am I listening to time? Some damn good Floyd. Okay. I think that people in this society are so obsessed with, like, rules and convention and tradition and blah, blah, blah. And the thing about it is that art defies all that. And that's the fucking most beautiful part about it. And I think it's so funny when people say to me, like, what, like, Ash and I will discuss sometimes, like, grammar, proper grammar use. And I'm like, look, if you want to fuck with grammar purposefully for an intent, for a purpose, then yeah, you need to, like, know all the rules to break them, I suppose. But it's irrelevant, because if you just feel like fucking writing something, however the fuck you want to write it is correct. Like, it's not an English paper, it's not an academic paper, it's a fucking creative piece of writing. So, like, there are no rules, it's free from that. And I'm talking about writing specifically because I'm a writer. But I feel like that about all art. Like, it's so objective and subjective, and it's just about eliciting a reaction, and I think that civilizations die without the arts, and I think it's just so horrifying and archaic, and, well, maybe archaic isn't the right word, but it's horrifying to think that we would ever put restrictions and limits. Like, art is boundless, that's what it is. Like, you're creating. The person is creating, and so if it helped them get out an emotion, or if it made them happy, or if it made them really upset, but they got that emotion out, or whatever it was, that in and of itself was the purpose. And if one person is moved by it, then it is successful. And I just think that we get really bogged down. And I think people feel really bad. Like, I think there's two ways to feel really bad. I think on the one hand, some people feel really bad when there are incredibly famous pieces, like, let's say, you know, Monet and Picasso and, you know, Dali. Let's say all these men who are incredibly talented. I think so. And they're sort of regarded, right, like, in the world as some of the most famous and incredible artists, right? But if you don't feel like that, now look, granted there are people who don't feel like that because they just want to be pretentious assholes and whatever. But if you genuinely don't feel like that, I don't think you should feel bad. And similarly, I think that some shit that gets slammed by critics is actually good. And you shouldn't feel bad if you like something that wasn't, like, popularly acclaimed by critics. Like, I understand because I went to college and I've studied and I understand how the art world works, and I understand, like, that there are certain standards and there are certain, you know, things are called a work of genius for a reason and whatever. But I do think we as a society become obsessed with these labels and these fucking restrictions and rules, and it's just like, you know what, fuck it, man. Like, art is about eliciting a reaction, and it's about how you as the individual react to the piece. And if it fucking rocked your world, or if it elicited a reaction, or if you felt fucking good or sad or reminiscent or nostalgic when you looked at it, then it was effective and it is good, because that good is conducive to the one person that's looking at it. And I just think that I get really upset that we get so bogged down. I just went on a really big rant, which is fine. You love me anyway, right? I'm in a weird mood, so I'm sorry if I'm aggressive right now. I feel like I should probably not talk anymore. But yeah, to all of you who are, I'll wrap it up with this. To all of you who are artists, don't get bogged down. People tell me sometimes, like, oh, your language is really pretentious. And I'm like, really? Because it's not meant to be pretentious. It's that words are so fucking awesome. Like, I didn't make these words up. These are real words. Like, I'm sorry that you don't know them. Like, and that's cool, man. Like, I don't give a fuck if you know them or not, but, like, I really like words, and I have 6 dictionaries, which is probably too many, and I read the dictionary every single day. I try to memorize anywhere between 3 to 5 to 10 words, depending on how good I am that day and how busy, but 3 minimum. 3 words a day, and I memorize them, and I look at all the synonyms, so I memorize the synonyms as well, sometimes the antonyms, and I love them. I love words. I think they're fucking rad, and, like, not just because I'm trying to, not because I'm trying to impress people, but just because the same way that some people find, you know, jazz interesting, or history documentaries, or soccer, I find words interesting. They're interesting to me, and I like learning more. So it's like when I put them in my writing, it's because I feel like I have the creative jurisdiction to do so, and I absolutely do, because, again, there are no rules in art. So for all you, not writers, for all you artists out there, there are no fucking rules, and don't fucking let people don't let people make you feel bad about yourself. What you're doing is fucking difficult, because typically artists are, there is a reason that the tortured artist cliche exists. It's because we typically are. And you're putting blood, sweat, and tears into your work, and I know it. And so don't let people make you feel bad. It's not easy, and there are no rules, and you're being innovative and creative, and it's a feat, and it's rad, and I dig it. So, that's my video. Happy Sunday, Tumblr.